again, to all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land, Ron Ontario and John and Ellie with Louisiana beer reviews, except today we're looking at a whiskey, and this is a Luxco brand, and we were talking about this one. This is actually 70% grain neutral spirits versus 75 and 30% straight.
Or as opposed to 80.
Yeah, so a little bit more.
So it's a 70-30 blend. Okay. Blended with the finest whiskeys, as evidenced by no proof, because finest is somebody's opinion. Okay.
It's $9.99 for the bottle, so pretty good deal on it.
For the finest whiskeys. Blended and bottled by Calvert of St. Louis, Missouri. Yeah, Luxco, that's their last name, Lux.
Oh, I didn't.
Family's last name, Lux, so it's Luxco.
I figured it came from like Deluxe, like
no,
maybe they took, you
it's
know.
It's their name. So I think it's, I was trying to find a date. Oh, okay. I can't make that out. Well, it's not old.
I like the label too. It's got that cool little, what is that, like lions and the seal, and then it's just kind of like
Calvert.
Yeah, it's kind of like a classic label. It's not too fancy, and sometimes simpler is better. It kind of draws your attention a little bit.
Now, it says blended and bottled by Calvert, St. Louis, Missouri. So I guess they have a place there where they blend and bottle the whiskeys. I don't think it's distilled there. It's probably distilled at Midwest Grain Products, but I don't know that. Okay, I'm ready.
All right, so neither one of us have ever had this.
I have the Lord Calvert, which is the Canadian branch of this company, and when I was driving up here, I saw the Lord Calvert Black in the fancy smoked bottle, and I stupidly didn't buy it. It was $11.99.
That was a cool bottle too.
And it's too late now because I'm not going to go off onto the rural highway to get it. But oh, what a mistake! Well, I can't buy everything. This is much lighter than the 40 Creek.
It is. It's still got a pretty nice color. What would you say? Like it's copper, but like on the lighter end of copper.
I would say this is more like gold.
Golden.
To me, this is
or
gold.
Deep, like a deep golden.
Yeah,
color.
gold,
Yeah.
burnished gold, like San Francisco 49ers helmet gold.
This one's a lot more spirit forward with the aroma.
Yeah.
Oh, it does have some nice sweetness. I'm picking up on that.
It has a little candy sweetness, a little smokiness, a little wood, like maybe not char, but like toothpick wood. It's not bad. It's mellow. And you haven't had too many blended whiskeys. American blended.
Not American blended. I think the Beam's 8 stars, the only one I've had, the American blended. Of course, Canadian and Scotch, but yeah, for American, this is probably my second one.
You never had the Seagram 7 Crown?
Oh yes, I have. I always think of Canada when I think, but yeah. So yeah, I've had 3 then. I've had 3. I did an examination of that, so of course, of the Seagram 7.
See? All right.
All right. Cheers. Really nice alcohol legs going down the glass too.
Yeah. Well, it's like a lot of the other blended. It's basic in the sense that it's
more caramel sweetness on the palate and not as much. I thought it was going to be more of that neutral grain spirit, you know, and then maybe get some of the sweetness and the oak and stuff in the background. But actually, I'm picking up on that first, and the alcohol's kind of more.
It's got a little more bourbon flavor than your typical blended American whiskeys because it's a higher percentage of it.
And you know what? I think that's probably why. Because a lot of the blended whiskeys I've had, I mean, well, most of them are Canadian, so you don't get as much of that bourbon type character.
Right.
And actually, this one.
Although Canadian whiskeys are allowed to use bourbon in their blends, American bourbon, believe it or
I
not.
don't think I've ever had one that has done that though. Or
not,
not, not advertising.
They don't have to they don't have to disclose it, but you can ask for a certificate. I would say that it's got more character than some of the blended I've tried. It's probably on par with the Seagram 7 Crown. Maybe the Kesslers, yes. Beam's A-Star is only 80-20. It's only 20% straight bourbon, but it does have some good character to it.
I'm getting a lot of bourbon character now as I sip on them, where it's almost like, you know, like Miller Lite is to Miller High Life. Calvert Extra is to, I don't know.
It's got the underlying corn.
Jim Beam or something.
Corn. It's got wood, char, nut, like walnut oil. Walnut oil.
Not really picking up a lot of nutty qualities, but
taste,
I've been spoiled lately with the overly nutty qualities that we've been getting with like Canadian Leaf and those Canadian blended whiskeys with whatever natural flavoring they use in those.
Yeah, that's usually bourbon, some sort of wine, or even rum. Yeah, that's the flavorings. This can have up to 2% blending sherry. I am picking up walnut oil. I would give it a very high score, and I don't really score whiskey, but I would recommend it if you're looking to spend $9.99 and you want a pleasant, mild, smooth, pretty smooth. There's nothing harsh about it. Blended whiskey, this would work. Now, I mean, you know, if you go put it up against Old Granddad Bottled and Bond, you're going to say, well, it doesn't have as much flavor, it's not as intense. Well, okay, it shouldn't be.
You know, I highly recommend this too. I don't give numerical ratings, you know, like for whiskey, but I would say it's an A budget product. I mean, it's...
Yeah, I mean, it has that underlying corn distillate, but it's not overwhelming. It's
got a lot of... Terrible. The more I drink on it, the more I'm picking up the bourbon-like qualities. A little charred oak in there. The caramel sweetness is really nice, and you're not getting that neutral grain spirit. It's not a spirit-driven product.
You get an underlying grain neutral spirit.
Right, but it's not, you know, it's not spirit-driven like a lot of other really cheap products are. That's, you know...
Now, if I had this in my town, I'd have a bottle. I'd be running it through the taste challenges. You know, I think it would make some good challenges. But anyway, so we recommend it within the context of knowing what it is. And I think people paying $9.99, they probably know what it is.
Yeah, really, really nice product, and I'm glad I you know, got it for $9.99.
All right, so $9.99 plus tax in Georgia. Calvert Extra. I think the regular Calvert is the 80-20 blend, but this is extra because it's got extra and percentage.
You pay an extra dollar. I think it was $8.99 for that one. You pay an extra dollar for the 70-30.
And you get extra bourbon.
Extra.
And that doesn't mean a whole lot because you can get early times for about the same price, and that's straight bourbon, except not in the legal sense.
Legally, yeah, because it's aged
and used
barrels. Second run of the charred oak barrels.
It's okay. It's not straight bourbon. It's pure whiskey
from like a
not mixed with grain neutral spirits, and or you could even get Benchmark Old Number 8, which is straight bourbon whiskey for about that price. So, and this would probably, well, it depends what you like. So I was going to say it would probably could hang with Benchmark, but those two different styles. This is blended.
This has a lot of bourbon type qualities to it. I think it could hang with Benchmark. The Benchmark has more of a corn sweet. It's distinctly corn sweetness on the palate. This one is a little bit more balanced, I think, a little smoother. So I might gravitate towards this over the Benchmark.
Whoa!
And they're both about the same price, so you know you can't go wrong with either one.
This might be more comparable to 10 High,
which I've never had.
10 High blended bourbon. It's kind of like in the same realm. All right, thanks for watching this video production.
All right, y'all come down to Georgia here.
Yeah.